Do this one thing to achieve success. This is the #1 way to achieve success. There's only one thing you have to know in order to be successful, and I'm going to reveal to you that one thing that you must do in order to achieve success. This is something that I've learned from reading a book called The One Thing. It's an amazing book that has opened my eyes to the reality. It studied really highly successful people, and it concluded that they all did this one thing in order to become successful. So that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. What's going on, subscribers? Welcome to another brand new video from the Flaming Profits YouTube channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You definitely don't want to miss out on any upcoming videos that will benefit you financially, as well as set up your mind. In order to be successful, we're all committed to making profits, as well as growing and becoming a better person overall, self-improvement. So if you're interested in this kind of content, make sure you subscribe and like this video before we get started. It takes a lot of time to produce this video, so it really helps me out if you like this video and leave me a comment down below. I do want to share some amazing links like this. You get 2 free stocks with Webull as soon as you sign up. No reason why not to do it. It's free money. Also with Robinhood, they'll give you a free stock. So that's 3 free stocks that you can get absolutely for free. And then with M1 Finance, a brokerage that I use every single day, you get free $10 to invest with them. And then this Discover secured credit card that I use for every single purchase, they're offering $50 of free money as soon as you sign up. Now let's get to the video. Alright, so here we go. So this is the book in 3 sentences. The one thing is the best approach to getting what you want out of life. Success is a result of narrowing your concentration to one thing. Success is built sequentially, one thing at a time. So a lot of mistakes that a lot of people make, and I know that I'm definitely making this mistake, is that I'm focusing on so many different things that in reality I'm not focusing on one thing. Almost every single really successful person has always focused on one thing, and one thing at a time. If you're able to pick one thing that is the most important for you and stick to that and make it succeed, you're gonna have a lot higher results than just being concentrated on a ton of different things all at once. You're actually never gonna get anything done. The reality is, not everything matters equally. There are things that are more important than others, and you're spending your time that you have equally, and this is a mistake. Not everything matters equally, so you should be spending more time on other things than other things. And then multitasking is a lie. Discipline is a result of habit. Willpower is a finite resource. You don't have all the willpower you think you have. And then big is bad. This is a myth. Now let's discuss some brief overviews of this book. Some of the main points that it makes. 1. The extraordinary results are directly determined by how narrow you can make your focus. So if you want to have extraordinary results, you better make sure that you have very specific narrow focus on one thing. Find the lead domino and whack away until it falls. The key is over time. Success is built sequentially. It's one thing at a time. So instead of focusing on the whole thing, different parts of the whole thing, focus on the one thing that you need to do in order to make the lead domino fall, and then everything else will be much easier. You're not going to be able to achieve anything if you are struggling with a lot of different components. Just focus on one thing and then go to the next one. The one thing is a dominant theme that shows up in different ways. Walt Disney took night courses at the Chicago Art Institute and became the cartoonist for his school newspaper. After graduation, he couldn't get a job, so his brother Roy, a businessman and banker, got him to work at an art studio. For Sam Walton, it was L.S. Robson, his father-in-law, who loaned him the $20,000 he needed to start his first retail business, a Ben Franklin franchise store. Albert Einstein and Max Talman, his first mentor, it was Max who introduced the 10-year-old Einstein to key texts in math, science, and philosophy. Max took one meal a week with the Einstein family for 6 years while guiding young Albert. So these are very important people that made a huge difference in the world, and the key that you have to take away from these people is that no one is self-made. Even though they kind of made themselves, They're actually not self-made, and no one really is. You're dependent upon others. Other people will make you successful. It just comes to the right opportunity. But no one is actually self-made. To think that is actually very egoistic. You have to know that others are there to support you. There's going to be people who are going to influence you and make you a success. But it's because of others. No one is actually self-made. The one thing becomes difficult because we were fortunately bought into too many others. And more often than not, lose other things, muddle our thinking, misguide our actions, and sidetrack our success. Life is too short to chase unicorns. It's too precious to rely on a rabbit's foot. Achievers operate differently. They have an eye for the essential, and what is essential should be your number one focus. They pause just long enough to decide what matters, then allow what matters to drive their day. Achievers do sooner than what others do sooner. The difference isn't in intent, but in right of way. Achievers always work from a clear sense of priority. And then go small. Don't focus on being busy. A lot of people think that because they're busy, they're being productive and that they're going to achieve a lot of things. But in reality is you're not. You're only basically destroying your success. You have to go small. Focus on being productive, not on being busy. Allow what matters to drive your day, not little tasks that are not significant and are not going to contribute to your success. So this brings me to the next point. Say no. Whenever you say later or never, the point is to say not now to anything else you could do until your most important work is done. So delegate what is not important to you and do what is actually important to you. Next is multitasking is a lie. Multitasking is neither efficient nor effective. In the world of results, it will fail you every single time. When you try to do two things at once, you either can't or won't do either well. So focus on what is important and do that one thing. Steve Uzel, multitasking is merely the opportunity to screw up more than one thing at a time. This is kind of funny, but it's actually kind of true. Bounce between one activity and another, and you lose time as your brain reorients to the new task. So it is much more effective for you to focus on one thing than many different things. You're going to waste a lot more time by doing two different things at once. It would have been better if you just did one thing at a time. Chronic multitaskers develop a distorted sense of how long it takes to do things. Multitaskers often make poorer decisions because they favor new information over old. Even if the older information is more valuable, success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything right. This goes towards perfectionists. Being a perfectionist is a very bad thing. If everybody was a perfectionist, we would never get anything done. Even though things are not 100% the way it should, sometimes you have to roll with it, because success is not about doing everything perfect. It's about doing the right things that need to be done. The trick to success is to choose the right habit and bring it just enough discipline to establish it. That's it. Your life gets clearer and less complicated because you know what you have to do well and you know what you don't. The fact of the matter is that aiming discipline at the right habit gives you the license to be less disciplined in other areas. When you do the right thing, it can liberate you from having to monitor everything. Most of our conscious activity is happening in our prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain responsible for focus, handling short-term memory, solving problems, and moderating impulse control. It's at the heart of what makes us human and the center of our executive control and willpower. Don't spread your willpower too thin. On any given day, you have a limited supply of willpower, so decide what matters and reserve your willpower for it. Monitor your fuel gauge. Full strength willpower requires a full tank. Never let what matters most be compromised, simply because your brain was underfueled. Eat right and regularly. Time your task. Do what matters first each day when your willpower is the strongest. Maximum strength willpower means maximum success. So delegate your maximum willpower to those activities that require the most attention. Replace the word balance with counterbalance, and what you experience makes sense. The things we presume to have balance are really just counterbalancing. In your effort to attend to all things, everything gets shortchanged and nothing gets its due. Counterbalancing does well given the illusion of balance. When you're supposed to be working, work, and when you're supposed to be playing, play. It's a weird tightrope you're walking, but it's only when you get your priorities mixed up that things fall apart. So you gotta make sure that you have your priorities aligned. What is your first important thing? What is your second? What is your third? List them out. It really helps you out. An extraordinary life is a counterbalancing act. When big is believed to be bad, small thinking rules the day, and big never sees the light of it. Don't order from the menu. Act bold and don't fear failure. This is what a lot of successful people do. Elon Musk doesn't order from the menu. Steve Jobs didn't order from the menu. Bill Gates didn't order from the menu. They created their own menu. We overthink, overplan, and overanalyze our careers, our businesses, and our lives. The long hours are neither virtuous nor healthy, and that we usually succeed in spite of what we mostly do, not because of it. The key to success isn't in all things we do, but in the little things that you do well. Success comes down to being appropriate in the moment of your life. Don't put your eggs in one basket is all wrong. It is trying to carry too many baskets that breaks most eggs in this country. Mark Twain agreed with Carnegie and described it this way. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret to getting started is breaking your complex, overwhelming task into small, manageable tasks and then starting on the first one. George Anders. There is no art to the clearing away the clutter and focusing on what matters the most. There is an art to that. It is simple and it is transferable. It just requires the courage to take a different approach. The focusing question is a double duty question. It comes in two forms, big picture and small focus. What's my one thing? Use it to develop a vision for your life and the direction for your career or company. It is your strategic compass. Until your one thing is done, everything else is a distraction. Recruit support. People do not decide their futures, but they do decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. So, decide your future by the habits that you elect. Extraordinary results require great answer. Highly successful people choose to live at the outer limits of achievement. They do not only dream of, but deeply crave what is beyond their natural grasp. If you want the most from your answer, you must realize that it lives outside your comfort zone. This is rare air. A big answer is never in plain view, nor is the path of finding one laid out for you. Books and published works offer the most in terms of documented research and role models for success. The research and experience of others is the best place to start when looking for your answer. Achieving extraordinary results, purpose, priority, and productivity bound together, these three are forever connected and continually confirming each other's existence in our lives. Think of purpose, priority, and productivity as three parts of an iceberg. What you see is determined by what you don't. George Bernard Shaw. Life isn't about finding yourself, life is about creating yourself. Hyperbolic discounting. The farther away a reward is in the future, the smaller the immediate motivation to achieve it. People tend to be overly optimistic about what they can accomplish, and therefore most don't think all the way through. Researchers call this planning fallacy. Visualizing the process. Breaking down a big goal down into steps needed to achieve it helps engage the strategic thinking. Extraordinary successful people launch their year by taking the time out to plan their time off. They'll know they'll need it. Managing your work time and around your downtime instead of the other way around, you're letting everyone else know well in advance when you'll be out so that they can plan accordingly. When you intend to be successful, you start by protecting the time to recharge and reward yourself. Take time off. Block out long weekends and long vacations, then take them. You'll be more rested, more relaxed, and more productive afterwards. Resting is as important as working. Peter Drucker. Efficiency is doing the right thing. Effectiveness is doing the right thing. Your only job is not to break the chain. Don't break the chain. There is magic in knocking down your most important domino day after day. If you erase, you must replace. A simple trip to the coffee machine can derail your day should you encounter someone making you a part of theirs. And these are the 4 thieves that can hold you up and rob you of your productivity, so pay attention to them. Number 1, inability to say no. Fear of chaos. Poor health habits. Environment does not support your goals. Albert Einstein, if a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, of what then is an empty desk a sign? The highly productive person's daily energy plan. Meditate and pray for spiritual energy. Eat right, exercise, and sleep sufficiently for physical energy. Hug, kiss, and laugh with loved ones for emotional energy. Set goals, path, and calendar for mental energy. Time block your one thing for business energy. Surrounding yourself with the right people is the right thing to do. While attitude thieves will rob you of energy, effort, and resolve, supportive people will do what they can encourage or assist you. Ultimately, being with successful-minded people creates what researchers call a positive spiral of success, where they lift you up and send you on your own way. Who you hang out with also has serious implications of your health habits. The purpose of life is not to be happy. The purpose of life is to be useful, to be responsible, to be compassionate. It is, above all, to matter, to count, to stand for something, to have made some difference that you lived at all. Mark Twain. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the blowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, discover. Success is an inside job. Put yourself together and your world falls into place. When you bring purpose to your life, know your priorities, and achieve high productivity on the priority that matters the most every single day, your life makes sense and the extraordinary becomes possible. All success in life starts with you, not with your friend, not with your family, not with your job, not with your manager. It starts with you. So listen to this. Your success is not dependent on others around you. It is not depending on anyone else but you. If you are not successful, it is not your family's fault. It is not where you grew up. It is not based on your environment. It is not based on the opportunities that you have. It is based solely on you. You have all the power that you need in order to make things happen and to change things around. You just have to think and act accordingly. You shouldn't be blaming anyone else for your circumstances. There we go, subscribers. That is the One Thing book review. Let me know your opinion of this video. What kind of brought your attention to? What did you like the most about this book? What is your favorite thing that you learned from this book? Now, I have a very serious question that I want you to write down in the comment section down below. What is your one thing? If you had to pick one thing that is the most important thing to you right now that you need to get done, let me know in the comment section down below. For me, it's work. Work is my priority right now. That is my one thing. Let me know. Thank you.